lesson's called New Kid on the Block. Next slide. Okay, so at my school, we're doing an immigration unit. So I thought this would be kind of like a cool way to get students thinking about immigration. We're even doing like an Ellis Island thing where everyone has to come in like in immigration garb and like they're going through Ellis Island. Okay, so my learning target is students will be able to analyze the sun paper planes, responding through writing and discussion, their ideas about the challenges they face if they move to a foreign country. So why might it be important to understand the challenges that we face when we move to a foreign country?
Because our culture may be different than theirs, and so we need to understand like what's appropriate, how to fit in.
And we have a bunch of like built-in differences that need to be somehow reconciled.
Nice. Okay. And then this learning about how how the challenges we'll face in a new country is important to what we're going to be learning in the upcoming weeks with our immigration project that you guys are going to be working on. So now I want you guys to write about a time that you were an outsider in a new place and what kind of challenges you faced, and think about if people saw you differently than you really are. And like you have like 3 minutes. Okay, would anyone like to share about their experience or what they wrote about?
I can go first. So I described just an experience of when I went to Mars Hill before they closed down. And it was a new place for me. I had no idea what it was going to be like, but I walked in and I was like generally confused because it's a new place. But I also they looked at me like a new potential convert, and so I felt like they were piranha and I was flesh, and it was kind of like they coming at me. when really I was just there to more like effectively and efficiently know how to describe how like bad they were. So like they saw me as something that I definitely wasn't what like was, and I felt a little out of my comfort zone. But once I left, I felt way better.
So what was your real reason for being there that they didn't see?
Just out of reconnaissance.
Okay.
They didn't understand. I went there just to
open it out.
just go.
Okay. What a great example. Sarah, do you want to share?
Yeah, I wrote sort of similar. Coming to SBU for the first time, freshman, I was not raised in a religious household, and so I lived on a floor with 25 girls who were very religious, and so I didn't know any words to worship songs. I didn't know when you're supposed to sit and stand. So I felt like a big old idiot, and I was just very embarrassing because I was very self-conscious about my language, my use of language, especially in class. I never had a professor that had prayed in class or mentioned the word, God in a more not academic, like history of religion sense. So it took a long time to get used to.
So do you think people looked at you and thought, like, what is up? Like, why is, like, thought you were, like, a step off? Or, like, kind of, like...
I had growing up, lived in a heavily populated LDS Mormon community, so I got asked if I was Mormon all the time, because I was a very, like, kind of, quiet, like, kind of proper kid growing up in high school. But coming here, people assume things about me, that I go to church or, like, I do, participate in a variety of activities, which is, like, fine, because it's the general assumption here. So it was, it's different than when people are, like, assume things about you, and you're like, oh, actually, you're not. Or, actually, I do.
Yeah.
So.
Oh my gosh, you guys have really amazing examples. Way to go. Okay, so now we're going to listen to Paper Planes by MIA. And I just wanted to tell you guys that in the first... Actually, I think I'll tell you after and let you just experience the song. And then we'll talk about it. Yeah, you guys have your beer sheets of things that you can follow along. But you want to see the visuals too, what's going on with her in contrast with the words. stop it because I want to have more time to discuss, and she kind of repeats herself. A few times there. There's anything. Okay, so the first few lines in the song are she samples a lot of things, which means she uses music from other people's songs in her songs. It's from Straight to Health and The Clash, and that's a whole song that's just about Great Britain and the U.S. treating immigrants poorly. I just wanted you to know that an immigrant is a person who comes to live permanently in a foreign country, and there's a definition of permanent, long-lasting, and changing. So, what did you guys did you guys see a difference between her word, a contrast between what she was saying and what was going on in the video? She's talking like she is a kind of what is her persona that she's going for? What is she talking like in the song? Did you guys pick that up? Yeah. And you can see examples, can you find an example of slang or something that?
Yeah, when she talks about the main repeater, all I want to do is bang, 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 and
Yeah.
it's all about money, except then you actually see her and she's at one of the food trucks.
Not being that gangster, really, no. And do you guys remember another one of the jobs that she did in the video? When we were watching the video, she's at the food truck and then she's sitting and she has a hat on. There's all this other stuff around her, one of those street vendors. Yeah. So, not very gangster, but can you think of a reason why she would be adopting this gang? Or first of all, what do you think this song is really about?
Maybe kind of the impression you're talking about, how we get this impression of someone that looks like this on paper, but really that's not who they are.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of have this skewed perception of what immigrants come to do when they live with us, amongst us.
And even with the name of the song, Paper Planes, denotes what she wants to do. All I want to do is this, which is the plain part, except what she actually has to live with, which is the more on the paper. So the difference between dreams, reality, fictionalized reality.
Mm-hmm. Or how we create this image of what an immigrant could be. They could be this person that's come here to be a gangster or try to take advantage of the system, but really they're just barely squeaking by. And you can kind of just look, I think she's really looking at brown people. I think that we see a lot of brown people in this video, and just kind of saying not to stereotype or to look at all brown people or immigrants and say that they're this gangster type of person. Okay, so So now that we kind of understand that she's putting on this gangster persona to show that that's how immigrants are perceived, not how they really are, I thought we could try to write our own verse that kind of encapsulates the experiences that you guys went through of being seen differently in a new place. So for my verse, I wrote, when I joined a new church group and threw one girl for a loop, she thought I wanted to steal her friend, but we all ended up buddies in the end. So it's kind of looking at how she saw me this one way, but that wasn't how it was, and we all ended up being friends. So you guys could try writing your own verse about your experience.
Hill rhymes with a lot of things. SPU.